Hey everybody, this is Kennedy, and we are back with another Hero Pack announcement from FFG from Marvel Champions. This time we are talking about the Ironheart Hero Pack. You can see the card spread from the Fantasy Flight Games website right there on the slide, and I will have a link to their article and their web store in the comments below. So if you're as excited about the Ironheart Pack as I am, you should definitely click that link and pre-order from there or your favorite local game shop, because this pack is coming, and it is coming way sooner than we thought. So let's talk about that right away. Let's get over with the elephant in the room. Another pack is coming in May from FFG. They just told us Nova was coming in May. And at the very bottom of the article, they have this little paragraph here. Ironclad Champion talks all about Ironheart. Looking forward to taking on the Sinister Six, which is coming up in the Sinister Motives campaign box. And they have a note. Our hope is to release all future hero packs in pairs. Each will remain their separate product, barring any shipping delays and other logistical issues, blah, 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 legalese. Awesome. We don't know what this means. They could be doing, now releases every other month, or they could just be doubling the pace at which hero packs come out, which I am a big fan of. But either way, I love when two packs come out together. That happened with Star-Lord and Gamora, and it was so fun with our playgroup that not only one person got to play with the new hero, but everybody did. And that made it super entertaining and fun. So I hope we see this hero pack pairing release model in the future, as they've noted here in their article. So you might be thinking, ugh, another power armor hero? Didn't we just get War Machine, who everybody thought was just going to be a reprint of Iron Man, but with grayer cards? Well, he wasn't. He was awesome and unique in his own way, and so is Ironheart. It does mean we're going to see less constant inclusion of Ironheart in every single deck that we see out there, which I think is a good and healthy thing for the game. A lot of our multiplayer games, we all mulligan and then we say, okay, who has Ironheart? Because we want to make sure we don't all try to play her in the same turn. And now we can just solve that problem, because I can roll up to game night playing as Ironheart the hero, denying everybody access to their favorite 2-cost basic ally, but hopefully bringing something super fun and unique to the table that's going to feel different than all those other armor heroes. So let's dive into Ironheart's kit, fly around, and see what we can learn. So Ironheart has a super unique kit. Riri Williams has 3 identity cards. Wait, what? 3 identity cards? She was just a single ally. It's not like she's 3 people or anything. No, Riri Williams is going to be building her suit of armor. Much like we always felt like Iron Man should be building and upgrading his armor with newer tech and developing things, Iron Man does that by placing all these upgrades on the board and building his suit. Riri does that all through her identity card. So let's read her alter ego here. It says, begin the game with this card. Set your other identities aside. 3 recovery, hand size of 6, hit points of 10. Child Prodigy. Action. Spend a mental resource. Place 1 progress counter on Riri Williams. Limit once per round, so you can make 1 progress a round. What does the hero side say? It's 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 defense, which right away is not a bad stat line. That's a pretty good stat line for a hero, a total stats of 6. There's a lot of heroes that have less than that, Hawkeye, and they're sad about it. So this isn't bad at all. Level up. Action. Remove 6 progress counters from Ironheart. Ready her, and swap her to the version 2 Ironheart. So we'll have to see what version 2 does, but you do get a free ready for spending 6 progress. Now 6 resources for a ready seems pretty poor, so we must be getting something else to help us. Note, she does have a hero hand size of 4. Boo, I don't like hero hand sizes of 4, but I think you're going to see that this one will work out. So over here we have the next 2 forms of Ironheart. We have level 2 over on the left half of the screen and level 3 over on the right half of the screen. So the level 2 version, you're going to form into level 2 Ironheart, so you're going to jump into hero form and ready yourself. You now have 2/2/3 for your stats, so you've gotten 1 extra thwart. You've improved your thwart by 1. You have an ability again, level up, action, remove 6 progress counters from Ironheart, ready her, give her a tough status card, and swap her with version 3 Ironheart. So now you get a ready and a tough for those 6 progress counters. And on the Riri Williams side, we have action, spend a mental resource or 2 of any type to place 1 progress. So again, we're talking about getting 12 progress to go to level 3. Holy smokes, that's going to take a lot of resources. But your hand size is up to 5 now in Ironheart, so once you've spent 6 resources, you're now up to a hand size of 5 like a normal hero, so that doesn't feel too bad. Now let's go to level 3, because you're going to ready, give yourself a tough card, and swap to level 3. You now have 3 thwart on a hero, printed, not with anything else. You don't have to fish for heroic intuition to get that. In fact, you can play it on top of that, which is insano. Hero action, remove 1 progress token from Ironheart and deal 2 damage to an enemy. 2 2 damage for 1 progress token. That's pretty good, because you could build up more progress tokens in your previous form, and Riri's Alter Ego can still spend 1 resource of any type to create a progress counter. So now you're not forced into mental resources or paying this double tax. You can spend anything and then turn it into 2 damage when you flip back to hero form. Awesome. So she is looking like she might want to have to be a flipper to build up those resources. But now you have this auto damage on your hero form. You have a hero hand size of 6, which is insane, and stats of 3, 2, 3. There are no better stats in the game. I mean, that might be the same as Wasp. I can't remember even, but they're pretty dang good. I don't expect us to see a lot of printed hero stats that are higher than this. It does take a lot of work to get there, so you might be thinking, well, how else can I get resource tokens? If I have to spend 12 resources to get there, and I can only do that once a round, that's like 6 flips down to Alter Ego. That's a lot. Well, luckily for you, just like all of the other Champions characters, she is a very event-based character, much like Wasp, who has also been a champion in the comics, who is also event-based, but is missing the trait. Shame on you, FFG. We have another event-based champion. So we have two events shown in the preview article. We have Flyover, which is a hero action thwart. Spend 2 to remove 3 from a scheme. This is very standard for our champions, I've noticed. And place 1 progress counter on Ironheart. 2 progress instead if this thwart removes the last threat from a scheme. Awesome flavor text, big fan. Varouche, I can almost read. So right there, just for doing what you need to do and remove threat, you can get 2 progress tokens. Likewise, we have Photon Beam, which is a 2-cost event. Deal 4 damage to an enemy and place 1 progress token on Ironheart. 2 instead if this attack defeats an enemy. Again, amazing. Nothing here is bad. So if you can get off 1 Flyover and 1 Photon Beam and trigger their conditions, you've now gotten 4 of the 12 progress you need to get to the last level of Ironheart. You do need 12 total. So that's a lot of flipping down. That's 4 flips down to make up the remaining 8. But if you got 2 photon beams off or 2 flyovers off, now you're looking at only flipping down a couple of times. We've also got a resource here, Stroke of Genius response. After you spend this resource, place 1 progress token on your identity and draw a card. And draw a card. If this was just place 1 progress token on your identity, it would be amazing, right? Because you can just turn that into damage when you're in your final form. Frieza style, whatever. But here you get to draw a card. This is even better. Drawing cards when you spend cards is a way to make insano broken heroes like Ant-Man that can just go on forever and destroy things. I don't think we have that here, where she can just create this endless loop of stacking attack, but we do have a really powerful resource that lets you draw a card to replace itself. Pretty amazing. So what else do we learn about Ironheart here? We learned that she's way stronger in the endgame. We saw that in her identity, and that's kind of her MO for her entire hero kit so far. Her identity gets stronger as you level it up. She has some other cards that do as well. So we have Photon Blasters, which is a 2-cost tech weapon upgrade. You get +2 hit points, exhaust Photon Blasters, deal damage to an enemy equal to Ironheart's version number. So it's going to be 1, and then 2, and then eventually 3. An upgrade that you can just exhaust to do 3. That sounds an awful lot like Iron Man, but doesn't require aerial and is better. So sounds great to me. Love it. We also have the event New and Improved. Hero action. Choose X different options where X is equal to Ironheart's version number. Search your deck for an Ironheart card and add it to your hand, so you can go search for that resource and get a free progress token. Shucks. Give Ironheart a tough status card, and ready Ironheart. So when you're in version 3, you get to do all 3. For 3 resources, you get to ready, you get a tough status, and you can go get a card. I love it. Really, really good event. It is going to be slightly weak in the beginning, right? If you're just giving yourself a tough status card, that's like a basic invulnerability move. If you're just readying, that's like paying for tenacity all up front. But once you're level 2 even, that becomes really, really strong. So I think these events that show how much stronger Riri is going to get towards the end game are really good. And I think that that's a common feeling from Champions, a feeling that we've all missed after Galaxy's Most Wanted. A lot of times in Champions, your hero starts out kind of on the back burner. You've got to get things under control while the villain's ramping up, but you also got to ramp yourself. And then by the end game, you're kind of like in your groove and you're acting like a real hero in the Act 3 of a Marvel movie. And that's exactly how Ironheart is going to feel. So I'm super stoked to see this true return to form for Marvel Champions of having powerful heroes in the end game. So I'm very excited about that. So overall, super excited about Ironheart. So just some notes to remember, her hand size grows all the way up to 6 in version 3. So you're going to have a 6-card hand size in hero form. You're going to get those bonuses when you do your level up ability. So you're going to get to untap or not untap, unexhaust or ready Ironheart when you go to level 2, and you ready and get a tough when you go to level 3, which takes away a little bit of the sting of that resource cost. It's still going to be an interesting game seeing how quickly you can get to those 12 tokens, because right when you need the most help at the beginning of the game is unfortunately when you're like the weakest. But I think that that's going to be a fun challenge for people playing Marvel Champions. She has like the beefiest stat line we've seen yet. And once up and running, she's not susceptible to things like caught off guard with Iron Man, where he might lose the tech piece that he really needs. She's kind of just ready to go with these awesome stats. She builds way different than Iron Man and way different than War Machine, but she has a similar power set, and that's super cool. I really like that they've shown they can make 3 heroes that basically have the same thing, but they're all their unique personalities, unique flavor, and unique mechanics for playing. The art in this set is killer, and she comes with leadership cards. That's right, leadership cards. So let's get to the leadership cards. All right, we've got 4 leadership cards that were previewed. We have 3 champions allies in leadership. Finally, we have done our service to the champions trait in the game of Marvel Champions. I cannot describe how happy this makes me. So we have Falcon, a 4-cost ally with 1 thwart and 2 attack for 1 consequential each, 3 health, Aerial and Champion traded. Hero response: after Falcon attacks and thwarts, spend a lightning resource, ready another champion character you control. There are a lot of champions characters that are going to love that, including Ironheart when she's up to 3 thwarts. That's just about as insane as it can be. We've got Cloud9, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 3 health on a 3-cost minion. Ally. Aerial Champion. Hero action. Exhaust Cloud9. Choose a player until the end of the phase. Each aerial character that player controls gets +1 thwart. Pretty dang good. I didn't note it, but Ironheart is aerial in her level 2 and 3 form, but not her level 1 form. So this is another card that's going to get stronger for her later in the game. But this works really well with Spectrum and a lot of other aerial heroes that have aerial pretty simply. We've got Patriot. 2 thwart for 2 consequential, 1 attack for 1 consequential, 3 cost, 4 health ally. Hero response: after Patriot enters play, choose a champion's character. That character gets +1 to each of its basic powers until the end of the round. This is a Nova card. You just go put this in your Nova deck, and you use Unleash Nova Force, and you just go wild all day, killing all the minions and all the things that are on the board, and drawing all the cards in your deck, while Patriot just stands there and says, I guess I'll thwart someday. No big deal. Amazing card. All of these cards are like in that high to medium cost spot where you think about starting to sneak attack someone, but none of them have abilities that you'd really want to use sneak attack with yet. So we don't have that. Sneak attack requires you to share a trait with the ally you're putting into play, so that could be really cool with Miss Marvel to get combo pieces on the board. But we don't really have that champion's ally that wants to come in for 1 turn, burst for damage, and then go away. All of these characters kind of, I guess Patriot maybe, but if you're sneak attacking something that costs 3, you may as well just play it. It's going to be about the same cost almost, so it's not a big deal. We also have Go All Out, which is a 2-cost event with requirements and the attack trait. Miss Marvel cheers. Maybe. Hero action. Exhaust your hero. Deal damage to an enemy equal to the total of your hero's thwart, attack, and defense. So with our 3/2/3 at level 3 of Ironheart, this is a 7 damage attack for exhausting your character. So don't be fooled. You do have to exhaust your character, and you have to spend at least 1 energy resource. So you're spending 3 resources and exhausting to do 7. You could spend 3 resources to just do Uppercut in aggression, which is not a very good damage returning card. That is 1 extra card, because I guess you're playing Uppercut itself. Okay, let's say you could pay 2 to do Haymaker, which is a basic card. Doesn't require a specific resource. And then you could still do 2 damage with Riri to get to 5. So it's a little bit better than a Haymaker, but only if your hero's stats are like bonkers. This is still really good with a lot of heroes. This could be great with Wasp. This is going to be great in Captain America leadership, because he'll be able to ready himself and use his stats again. He's already at a 2/2/2. If you can get like a lead from the front out first or something to really pump your stats, you can just go a little bonkers here. And overall, I love it. I love having another attack event in leadership. Mental resource. I don't think Spider-Man will care about it, but it is a 6 damage attack for Spider-Man, so he might care. Who knows? All right, we got some basics too. We got Snow Guard. It's a 4-cost ally with 0 thwarts and 0 attack and 3 health. What is this? Response: after Snow Guard enters play, place up to 3 shift counters here. Well, the shift counters here are equal to X. She gets +3 attack, and her attacks gain overkill if there's 1 counter. +3 thwart, and gains the aerial trait if there's 2 counters. or plus 5 hit points and gains Retaliate if there's 3 counters. This is pretty cool. So this is another basic champion ally, much like Miles, where they're super versatile. And when they're in your hand, you play them and you pick what you need the most. If you need a thwarting ally, we got you covered. If you need an attacking ally to get rid of some minions, again, we got you covered. And if you need something to just chump for you for a while, a nice 8 health minion is even going to soak a Ronin attack. So that's pretty cool too. Does cost 4, so a little expensive. There's a good excuse for a sneak attack ally, but then again, they go away in 1 turn, so not really a good use for a sneak attack ally. And we have the basic event Go for Champions. 3 cost event, max 1 per deck. Play only if your identity has the champion trait. Hero action. Each champion character in play cannot take damage until the end of the round. That's bananas. Like, even if you're playing a 4-player game and you're the only champion character, or you're the only champion identity, but you play like 3 allies that all have the champion trait, you can block for the whole table and just trivialize the villain phase for 3. It's good this is max 1 per deck, or you could just shut down the villain forever with just a board of champions. If everyone's playing a champion's character, this is going to affect other people's identities too. If we ever get an honorary champion card, maybe, this card is going to be bonkers. Like, insane bonkers. You put that on everybody and you just have a card in your deck that says, skip the villain phase this turn, it's going to be fun. You'll still get encounter cards and stuff like that, but if you can eliminate 4 villain attacks, you're in for a good day. So I'm super excited about Go for Champions. All right, Wombo combo time. Let's talk through some combos. So the combos in these aren't as intense as Nova's combo of readying and attacking and readying and attacking, but there are some cool combos to talk about. We have Cloud9, the ally that can give all your aerial characters that a player controls +1 thwart. You could target other players with this, but there's a really cool aerial card from Star-Lord's pack, Air Supremacy, where you choose up to X enemies, where X is the number of aerial characters you control, and deal 3 damage to each of them. So if you get 3 aerial allies out, and you're aerial as Ironheart yourself, this aerial supremacy can now do 12 damage, 3 to 4 different targets, and you can give those other 3 characters +1 thwart using Cloud9 every turn, which is pretty sweet. Really good for ally batteries, right? If you're going to use her for strength in numbers sometimes, on the turns you don't draw strength in numbers, you say, okay, Ironheart, now you're a 4 thwart ally. Pretty cool. This also works really well with Nova, again. If you're trying to clear a bunch of side schemes using Unite Nova Force, she can give him +1 thwart, so really good. You could also put this, it doesn't say like anything about the champion trait on there, so you could put this in an Avengers deck where you're running Sky Cycles to give all your allies aerial. So aerial's really becoming a thing now. We thought it was going to happen after Star-Lord. It looks like we're finally getting there 2 cycles later, and I'm super excited for tribal trait-like stuff. Alright, we got Falcon. We talked all about being able to ready characters. Well, one really good excuse to use Falcon is Miss Marvel, right? Miss Marvel's ability is after you play an attack, thwart, or defense event, exhaust Miss Marvel and return that event to your hand. So you can, drop kick multiple times or big hands multiple times. Well, now you can bounce it 1 more time using Falcon. All it costs you is 1 energy resource and an attack or thwart. I love when cards give you something for doing things that you already wanted to do, like using your allies to attack or thwart, so I'm pretty excited about that ability. We also now have enough allies that we can start using a team building exercise with someone like Miss Marvel or any of the Champions characters. Previously, she was pretty restricted with how many Inhumans there were, but now we finally have enough champions to go with that half of her traits that I think that'll really work out super well. Alright, like I mentioned, Ironheart does become aerial, so all those aerial cards from Star-Lord's pack are going to be really good. Just like always, the best one, and this might be forever in my opinion, is going to be Ever Vigilant. With Ever Vigilant in your hand and Ironheart version 3 out, you can thwart for 8 thwart just with those 2. Like, you don't need anything else, just resources to spend. That's pretty amazing, right? You can imagine a lot of situations in multiplayer where like 8 thwart just changes the state of the game. It eliminates a side scheme and hits the main scheme or anything like that. So being able to ready a hero that already has 3 thwart and remove 2 threat in the aspect that is traditionally the worst at removing threat is going to be really strong. So I'm pretty excited to try out Protection Ironheart with Ever Vigilant. Alright, just the other Wombo combo that I want to talk about is Snowguard. So I kind of breezed over her, but she has some really cool abilities. So she can jump herself to 5 hit points and retaliate, right? So she's 8 hit points Retaliate 1, and is a 0/0. But you can pump those stats Voltron style. If you use this ally 8 times, you're probably ending the game, right? So just with like an Honorary Guardian, a Comms Implant, a Laser Blaster, Inspired and Sidearm, just with, that was 5 cards, right? But you can dump all those cards down really fast, especially if you're using like the Guardians of the Galaxy team up card and giving her that Honorary Guardian card. You can get her up to a 3/3, a 3 attack, 3 thwart, 8 health ally. And you've gotten 6 cards out of your deck so that you're getting to like your hero events as fast as possible. So that seems really, really strong. You can use the other side as well, again with Honorary Guardian. We don't have any champion specific upgrades yet. But I'm really excited for this combo, just putting 1 shift counter onto Snowguard so that she's a 3 attack with Overkill. Giving her an Energy Spear and a Sidearm, she's going to be a 6 attack with Overkill with 4 health because of the Honorary Guardian. That's pretty dang good. And she's got range too, so she's not taking retaliates. Pretty amazing. And I did want to mention one more time, Go for Champions. This card is going to change the game. This is going to make a lot of players that struggled with Expert Mode, maybe dabbled in Heroic Mode and laughed it off, be able to handle those really tense situations where the villain is just throwing activations at you. This card is bananas. Being able to make it so several characters, there's no limit on the number of characters that cannot take damage until the end of the round, is going to be nuts. You can imagine someone could run I don't know, an aggression Miss Marvel toe-to-toe deck where they bounce toe-to-toe as many times as possible, and you play Go for Champions so she can just laugh off the damage as the villain attacks her and does insane amounts of damage. This is going to be a card to build around, and I'm really glad they put it at the max 1 per deck, because I think, honestly, in a tribal champions deck with allies, this is a no-brainer. And if more than one hero is playing a champion, both of you should be including this card, because it's so, so good. And that's it. I mean, how hyped am I? I thought I would give us the hypeness scale for this pack release. So when Drax came out, I was super into Drax for a while. It was like the only hero I played for like 3 or 4 weeks. But he never kind of got me the way Hawkeye did. And then last month when they announced Sam Alexander Nova, I was just like, okay, Hawkeye can go in the trash can now because I have Nova and I am here to play. And Ironheart's right up there. She's not quite as high in the hype level for me as Nova. I'm just not as attached to the character because Sam Alexander is my inner child. But she's up there. She might even surpass Hawkeye as well because she just looks dang fun. So we will see how it works out when she comes out. We'll do a live stream when the pack comes out. But until then, be sure to check out the FFG website and your local game shop to put a pre-order in for Ironheart, coming out in May, hopefully paired with her friend Sam Alexander. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great day.